We're going to be talking about writing an inequality from a graph. This lesson begins on page 240 of your algebra textbook, and in your OLS, Unit 7, Lesson 14. A reminder of how to find slope, rise over run. So it is the change in y over the change in x, and that is when you look at 2 points that are on the boundary line. And again, even though it says y2 and x2 first, as long as you start with the same point, then you are good to go. You can subtract one from the other in either order. So in our first example, we can see immediately that we have a solid line, so it is either greater than or equal to or less than or equal to. We can also see that the shading is above the line, so that means it must be greater than or equal to. And we start off with the Slope-Intercept Form. So y, and it would be greater than or equal to, that we got from up here, and plus b. B is the y-intercept. So that is 0.5, or we could put 1/2 in a fraction. And the slope times x. So we just need to figure out the slope. And we can do that by actually counting our rise over our run, or we can do that by using the formula and subtracting our two values. So if we subtract the y values, we'd have 0.5 minus a negative 0.625. Excuse me for running out of room there. And then for the x, we would have 0 minus negative 0.75. So when we would figure those out, the y here comes out to be 1.125, and the x is over here 0.75. And so when we figure that out, we have 1.5, and that is the same as 3/2 in a fraction form. So our slope goes right in front of here. Y equals 1.5x plus 0.5. And it actually is greater than or equal to because of our line. And if we put that in the fraction form, y is greater than or equal to 3/2 x plus 1/2. I just simply turned those decimals into fractions. In this second example, we can see that our boundary line is dashed. So we can choose from either greater than or less than. And since we have this side of the line shaded, that is below the line, and so we would have less than. Or again, you can always do a test point, and since this does not go through the origin, I would recommend plugging in 0, 0 when we are done to figure that out. So our first step will be finding the slope. So we're going to use these 2 points. So the top of your fraction would be 12 minus 0, which is 12. And then the bottom part for the x is 5 minus 2, which is 3. So 12 over 3, our slope is 4. So we would have y is less than 4x. And then we need to find our intercept. And if we look right here, we can see what our intercept is. So 2, 4, 6, 8, negative 8. Let's see there. So y is less than, because we shaded this area, and it's just plain less than because of this dashed line, 4x, because our slope goes in front of the x, minus 8, because our intercept is negative 8. So this means that our inequality would be y is less than 4x minus 8. We start off with the slope-intercept form. Our slope was 4, we figured out by changing y over changing x. We saw that the line touched the y-intercept, or y-axis, excuse me, at negative 8. Since our graph was shaded below the line, that means less than. And since it was a dashed line, it stays at plain old less than, no equal to. So when we plug in, starting from here down to the red, y is less than 4x minus 8. So with those examples, hopefully you're feeling comfortable about looking at a linear inequality graph, and from that, being able to write the inequality. I also encourage you to check out pages 242 to 244 in your textbook. Try some of the odd problems and you'll get immediate feedback by going to the selected answers in the back of your book. Good luck!